was a discussion that was on HBO. I think it was called Talking Funny, where it was Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, Louis C.K., and Ricky Gervais. And I remember Chris Rock bringing up Woody Allen several times. So I was really interested to watch this, and I have to say, like, right up front, to me, this is the best Woody Allen homage movie. There are movies like Before Sunrise and Before Sunset that are better movies.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the best movie that Woody Allen influence is very strongly felt. But Chris Rock does his own thing with it. It's not like Louis C.K. with I Love You, Daddy, where he just was like, I want to be Woody Allen.
Yeah.
This was Chris Rock saying, I learned from Woody Allen, and now I'm going to do my own thing with it. And even though and we'll get into it, but I think there's a couple of different Woody Allen movies that this, I think, takes some ideas from.
Mm-hmm.
And but Chris Rock still, he makes it his own.
He does, and I'm going to jump in here and say I have a bit of a complicated relationship with Chris Rock because as a comedian, I think he's pretty much flawless, undoubtedly a legend, a king, a god of comedy. But as an actor, I've always had a problem with him. And it's not like I ever felt like as an actor he was reaching for the stars. I just felt like whenever he tried to act, he failed.
Yeah.
And the first time I watched this movie, I was disappointed. I really was, because I thought to myself, he brought the movie down. And every movie he's made, like he made another movie, which his ideas are great. The movie ideas he had is great. Even, more recently, even though I haven't seen it, I haven't seen the Saw spin-off Spiral that he's heading, but I heard he's decent in it. He made another movie, I think before this movie, Top 5, called I Think I Love My Wife, which was really good, a really good idea. But again, him as an actor, I just think he just can't sell it to me. Not like he's terrible, but to me, it's like this guy can't act. And it always took me out of it.
I think one of my favorite movies that he's in is a Kevin Smith movie called Dogma.
Yeah.
And yeah, he has some funny moments in it where he's allowed to riff, but when he's supposed to act, you feel it like, oh, you're not an actor.
And watching this for the second time, I didn't feel as disappointed as I did the first time. And I did feel, as the movie went on, I thought his performance was better. But for, I would say, 75% of this movie, it really frustrated me how everybody else was absolutely fine. And I'm not just fine, good. Rosario Dawson is an absolute flawless, amazing actress. She knocked it out of the park. All the other comedian friends she's got here, even the ones that can't act, like, Jerry Seinfeld and stuff, they're cameos, so I don't really expect much from them. But there's so much scenes, and this is so well written in terms of the character and what the character's trying to do, that it just annoyed me that, it wasn't working, because I want this movie to be great. I really do, because I really like the movie. And only at the very end where it gets a little bit, I wouldn't say emotional, but it gets a little bit more serious and dramatic. I do feel like he's coming into it a lot more. But by the time I was just like, Chris Rock, you're just not. When he's in his element doing the comedy stuff, of course that's flawless, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, that's what always bothered me about this movie. It's just that he brings it down when everything else is on a 9, and he, as an actor, is doing his best. I don't want to just harp on him. He's doing his best. He's trying, and it's possible. But because everyone else, I just feel like this movie could be so much better if he was a better actor. But I think for what it is, I think he did a really good job. And I'm going to focus on the movie, not just him. But I just want to say his performance is the worst part of this movie. But again, it's not god awful.
This to me was the first movie. Like, I haven't seen it. I've heard that because he's in the 4th season of the TV show Fargo.
Fargo, yeah, which I haven't seen. I want to see it so bad.
I know. I haven't. I watched the first 2 seasons. I just never have gotten around to 3 and 4. But I've heard he's excellent.
That's what I heard too. That's what I heard too. Yeah.
I've heard that he's good in the Spiral movie, and I think Top 5 was the first movie where I thought you're right. Everybody else kind of outshines him,
Definitely,
except in the scene where he's around his family, because I felt like maybe he was riffing a little bit more and he could be a little bit more natural. But
I just felt that was him. I just felt that was him in his natural element as a person. I didn't even feel like that was acting. I just felt like he was in his element again. So, you put someone natural in an element and it just works. So,
but this was the first movie where I think before this, everybody who hired him to be an actor, they thought, oh, I want Chris Rock to do what Chris Rock does, instead of saying, I want Chris Rock to play this character.
Yeah.
And because he wrote it and directed it, I think he was able to be much more natural in it.
Yeah.
He's playing Chris Rock, but I give him a pass in that he's playing Chris Rock the way that Woody Allen always plays Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Woody Allen never plays somebody else. He always plays Woody Allen. So if this is sort of a Woody Allen homage, Chris Rock being Chris Rock, I can get behind.
And I completely agree with you, by the way. I feel like so many movies we've spoken about, me and Simon in the past, where they ape Woody Allen, even me and you spoke about I Love You Daddy, where I do feel like he took this as his own. This is him doing his take on Woody Allen. And because of that, it feels completely natural. And I really respect that. Like, it's, a lot of black culture, a lot of hip hop. He doesn't hire some, I didn't research this, to be fair. I don't think he hired a top-notch cinematographer for this, even though it looks good. Visually, I think this looks good. I love the scenery. I love the shots. I love where it's taken. But I don't see Woody in this. Like you said, I see him taking lessons from Woody, like you. And that is, honestly, when you said that in the beginning, I was like, that's exactly how I felt the second time. The first time, to be honest with you, the first time I watched this back in 2014, the fact that he's, what's his name? Andre Allen, like his name's Allen. I thought, okay, this is so heavy-handed. I mean, I know you like him, but you don't have to do that. But it's cool. It's cool. He's letting everyone know I love him so much that, I respect him so much. I'm taking his name and my main character. That's fine. But I never drew comparisons to Woody Allen the first time. This time, I can see the structure. I can see the storyline. I can see the inspiration. But it's done with his own, I think it's done with his own heritage, with his own culture. So it really does. This is how you learn from someone, and it doesn't feel like you're just trying to be a ripoff. It doesn't feel like, and in a way, in some ways, it doesn't feel like he's trying to pay homage to Woody. He's just like, I like Woody Allen. I'm truly inspired by him to make a movie, and I've got this idea because for those of you who don't know, and again, I learned this through research. In 2011, Chris Rock decided that he didn't want to just be the actor, as you said, that directors use as the comedic side act. He wanted to learn more about acting. So he did a play. He was in a play. I don't know how long he was in the play for, but Stephen Aldi Gurgis, I can't even pronounce it right. The Motherfucker with the Hat. That's the play. It's called The Motherfucker with the Hat. You can watch clips of it on YouTube. And Chris Rock, I got a clip. I might as well just play the clip now. Chris Rock talks about him working in that play and how it helped him grow as an actor and as a writer. And yeah, I definitely want to share that right here. So let's have a quick listen.
I learned a lot from the play. An original play changes every day. It changes and grows and gets cut. It taught me to stop falling in love with my first drafts. It's a real writer problem. I've completed a draft. I was just so in love with my words. I just wanted the actors to say what I wrote.
This is Chelsea Brown. She's doing a story on me. No snitching.
When you hire an actor, if they're not your boss by the end of the process, you know what I mean? If it's not their character by the end of the process, you've hired the wrong actor. Rosario made that her part. At one point, the character lived with me, and then, 3 weeks later, it was like, hello, can I speak to Chelsea? You know what I mean? It was hers.
My top 5 is Jay, Nas, Scarface, Rakim, and then I might let Biggie get in there. My 6th man's LL Cool J.
It's weird that stand-up's the only art form that once you get big at it, you're encouraged not to do it anymore.
I really loved his thought process there, because I wish Chris Rock today made top 5, because as an actor, I feel like he's grown. And right now, I feel like he's kind of leaving that comedic life behind and getting more into acting, and he's starting to grow. He's learned from the play, he's learned from these movies, he's having more acting play. And I'm like, yes, he's growing, he's learning, and we're watching him on this journey. As an older guy, he's still got time to learn and grow, but I respect him for that. And that's why I respect this movie a lot more now than I did then.